Hey, we're live again on a Saturday night, and we're going to talk about Bigfoot and maybe something else that we don't know what it is. So, welcome to the Saturday night chat on the Squatch Zone. And don't think it's going to be regular, though. Let me see if I can find the chat. I know it's here. There we go. Yeah, so hi Renee. How are you? It's been a long time. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I think it was like last night. Hey Karen and Karen Rob, how are you? And Adolf and Bobby, how's it going, you guys? I got some really cool video to share tonight. I don't know, like I don't think you've seen this video. You might have seen Jeff's video if you were live on watching him live on Facebook, but I have a feeling that nobody has seen this video exactly. And you might have heard the stories and stuff like that. But I found it. I'm still cleaning off files. I put a new hard drive into my computer, and because I have 5 hard drives in there, and every one of them's loaded to the max. And I had to make some room on the operating system hard drive, because now last night my video was lurching and doing all kinds of weirdness and everything. I think it's because the hard drive is full and the computer can't run right, even though this software is supposed to run excellent because it's running out of the browser. And then that one video file that I was trying to show was from an old Hi8 type camera, so it didn't, I couldn't even open it up in the editing software, and I had to find something so that it even would play on the computer. So it wasn't playing nice with everything. So it made my whole video like mess up. Hi, Punky. What's up? Yeah. So, yeah. And then I wanted to, earlier, I was getting ready to go live. I was going to be live a lot earlier. And a couple weeks ago, Bigfoot Odyssey put a link up for, I think it was called 186 minutes, a Bigfoot documentary called 186 minutes or 168 minutes. Yeah, 168 minutes. And I thought it was kind of cool because the highway that we go up is called Highway 168. So it was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And I put a reminder on it. And so I was sorting the videos and everything. And then I was going to hit the live button. And the reminder came up saying it's about to start this new documentary from Bigfoot Odyssey, Kerry Arnold. And it was excellent. If after this, or when you got time, go over to the Bigfoot Odyssey and check out 168 minutes, the Bigfoot documentary. Put a like on it, subscribe. They have great stuff. I've been a guest on there. Everybody's really cool. They have Daniela and Carrie and a bunch of people, but they're my 2 favorites, and then Carrie's wife Linda. The great team. They did a great job. I don't even think I could do that good. I mean, it was really good. The photography was good. The information, they had history. They were in Florida, and they went back like into the 1800s, maybe even the 1700s with some history. So it was really, really good. And so I suggest everybody go check that out. And when you got time, it's a little over an hour, I think. So it'll take a little time. But anyways, I'll go ahead and get started sharing these videos. This time, because I had time and because I was loading everything up, and I think this one's going to play right with me. I'm going to go ahead and start it. Okay, now this is in 2 consecutive days. There's 3 videos, and they're not really far apart. In fact, they're the actual Bigfoot encounters and sightings were actually really close to each other. And you'll see that when the video plays. And I didn't hey, Sister Leo, I didn't Leo Oliver, Sister Leo Oliver, how are you? I didn't edit these. You're just seeing it raw, no cuts. You're gonna I thought about it, and I thought, nah, I'm just gonna play the straight up cuts and let you guys see it, and I'm gonna start off with where a Bigfoot ran in front of a forklift driver in a field loading oranges or tangerines onto a truck. So I'll get started here. Let me see. And I can't hear it, so I hope you guys could hear it. I don't know how to hear it. Let me see here. Maybe I do.
5:30. I was gonna go in at 5:30, like I said.
Whoops. I should be hearing it. There we go. Now I can hear it.
Oh, I can't zoom in. Can't zoom in on the video. Oh shit! You don't want to see my face. Sorry. Okay. Well, crap. All right, we are live right now at Keith, the Farmer Keith Ranch, and let me tell you
Jeff said where
what
it is.
happened this morning. I don't know if you can see it. I can't zoom in on the Facebook Live video off my phone for some reason, so I apologize for that. You know what? I'm going to go see if I can rotate your phone, get to the phone while recording. Hold on here.
See, while he's fooling around,
I can't zoom in.
I'm just going for it.
Zoom in, you guys. I apologize for that, so I'm going back this way. Anyways, you see all those PG&E trucks down there? And I don't know if you can see them or not, guys. Okay. This morning, a tractor hit one of those very, very tall telephone poles, like this one. I'm going to rotate. By the way, there's Ellen. Yes, I brought Ellen with me. Okay. See this pole here?
And by the way, there's Jeffrey. I brought Jeffrey with me.
See, there's this pole right here. There's a very, very large pole. Okay. So this morning, a tractor was spraying those orange trees down there, and a Bigfoot, yes, you heard me right, a Bigfoot crossed in front of the tractor, and the tractor missed it and hit the telephone pole and basically snapped it in half. I have pictures on the pole that snapped in half. I will, and later on, I will post those pictures on my wall. But did you hear what I just said? The tractor was spraying those orange fields down there, and a Bigfoot ran across the tractor, and the guy on the tractor missed it and hit the pole and snapped it in half. And how we know that is Keith went down there and was speaking to the foreman, who spoke Spanish, and was speaking to the driver, and overheard the foreman say, my driver saw a hairy man run across and scared him, and he hit the pole and snapped it in half. So that's what happened this morning, and PG&E right now are finishing up replacing that pole. They were out here all day, this morning to right now. So this is, I don't want, we're not at the very top of Keith Ranch's place, but see all these orange fields down here, guys? That's where the Bigfoots are at, and that's where they're at right now. Now, I'm going to go toward the sun, but that's Avocado Lake right over there. And you can't, because the sun's pretty bright, guys, sorry. I wish I could zoom in somehow with this, but I can't. But PG&E is replacing that pole as we speak, and they're almost done.
That's Keith the farmer's house right there, or his orchard. I'm looking at the lemons.
The tractor spooked it, and the guy in the tractor hit the pole so hard that it literally snapped the pole in half. And I have pictures of that pole, and I will post it later, or a little bit here. Okay, is that crazy or what? Look at all those orange vineyards down there, guys. We're on top of Farmer Keith's place.
Hey, Raulito.
That Bigfoot could be in there anywhere right now. I mean, that's where he's at. He's probably in there hiding. Or more than one, I'm thinking. Yep, oranges are in season. That is why the Bigfoots are out here. And Alan, I brought Alan. Finally, Alan can come out with me. So no, you guys think that I permanently kicked his ass out of here, but I didn't. There he is. He's filming the oranges. And are you getting the PG&E trucks pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead since I've got live feeds. I'm coming over here to Keith's farmer's property.
So really that's pretty much it right there for that video. But I have a little bit more if I can find it. I had them all lined up, and now they're not lined up. That's kind of weird. But I have a couple more videos. Now this is the next day, and it's on the other side of those. Then I found out those weren't oranges; they were tangerines. That we're on the whole other side. Well, tangerines and oranges mixed. So on the side where we are facing the grove, it's tangerines, and then somewhere in there it turns they've had oranges. No, out. Go on. Well, they put oranges in, so it was like a mix of oranges and tangerines. And then I got the second video. So this is on the other side of that orchard, and I'll get it to play. Oh, there it is. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Yeah, see, now they were harvesting the tangerines over there, but the oranges are still on the trees, and you'll see it in a minute. I think that might be a little loud, huh? Now this is really interesting right here.
They're just fixing all the power poles. It's right there.
Okay. We're going to. I'm going to let everybody get on right now before we start talking. We are at another location. I think you definitely want to hear about this story here. So I'm just going to let everybody climb on board, and I'll start speaking here in a couple seconds. We're going to be interviewing somebody.
Isn't it cool? I whip out the camera and just start recording. Like I got everything, even him firing up his recording.
Like a bird aviary. Sounds like a bird aviary.
Okay, so you guys, we are, okay, where we were at a little bit ago was right up there in that mountain up there. That's east out to the north. We're now to the south, on the other side of those orange trees. Lo and behold, you guys, if you guys watched my show last night, right? Yeah. At the very end of the broadcast, I showed you that goat that had the missing stomach part cut out and eaten. Well, we are here right now at the location where that happened. It happened across the street where we're at right now. Okay, who sent me that photograph? His name is Ron. Ron. We're just gonna say Ron. So Ron, how long ago did this happen?
About 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago. Explain to everybody whose goat was it and why. And you guys, it was across the street. You guys tied it, right? That was
Yeah.
Okay. So why was the goat there?
It was my neighbor's goat. He was getting ready to move in, and he had brought a goat over and told me to watch it for him. So we tied it up, and he left for the night. I went over there in the morning to check on it, and that's how I found it.
Okay, so the middle part was pretty much gone. I mean, right to the rib cage.
All the innards were gone.
All the innards gone. Okay. Usually when a mountain lion or a dog or a coyote, when they go after a goat, they go like for the neck and they rip it up, right? I mean, this thing was intact. Was the head intact? I mean,
Everything was dead.
except for the inner guts were taken out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not ripped out, cut out.
Cut out. You think
I
you
mean,
Really?
tore out. But it looked like your surgery.
surgically removed?
Yeah.
And no blood,
Yeah,
right?
no blood.
Okay. Now, there's something that I didn't tell you guys.
Wow.
And I wanted him to tell you it because I didn't want it
Still
to sound
wow.
like I was out of my mind. But there was a security system operable at that time over there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you guys found the goat, you said, hey, well, you know, the security system's still going. If the camera pointed at the goat, let's go take a look at it. What did you find on the camera?
Well, you see the goat standing there tied up. Is right before dark.
Okay.
And no, it just got dark. And all of a sudden you see on the street a light, like a light shining on the road, and then all of a sudden the cameras just shut off. Snow. And then they come back on in the morning time, goat staring at the camera.
Dead?
Dead.
Oh, shoot. Now, there was 2 dogs over there, right?
Yeah.
You noticed the dogs were acting strangely that morning.
They wouldn't come near it, the thing, the goat. Would not come near it. They were shaking, pissing themselves. They're terrified.
What type of dogs are they?
Shepherd mix. They're pretty big. They're good-sized dogs.
Yeah? And so they're, I mean, were they like laying on the porch and they scared out of their wits? I mean,
Mhm, yeah, exactly what they were.
Yeah.
And they took off, never seen them again.
So that day, you saw them during the day, and when did they disappear? That day or the following day? Or
That night.
that night they were gone, huh? Okay, so we are right now, we were talking as we got here with Ron, and his property backs up to the orange trees where the Bigfoot was seen this morning. You're telling me you hear a lot of crazy stuff over there.
Oh yeah.
What do you hear?
Growling, footsteps coming through.
I guess it was the same day as the broken telephone pole.
Stuff going along the fence, like touching the fence.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, you were telling me that when that happens, what all the animals start doing?
They go crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did-
Horses, dogs, everything going crazy.
And they go that way, and they start going
Yeah,
towards.
you can tell which way it's going by the dog's barking.
Right. So the dog never starts chasing it down the fence line.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ellen.
Crazy, the horses, everything. Across the street, everything.
Oh wow! So they can sense it even across the street.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, man, they're here. They are here. When's the last time you went out there?
Oh, it's been a little while.
Yeah. Who owns that property?
I don't know.
You know?
I got some problems with the people out there anyhow.
Yeah. Why?
They're spraying.
Oh.
They come right behind my house to spray that.
Oh, that right there, right?
Pesticide, yeah.
That's part of theirs.
Yeah.
Pretty close to your house
How
to be
often
spraying.
does the
Matter
noise?
of fact, you know what? Something night before last came back here and tried to get my goat. This goat right here.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How do you go? What? How do you?
Scream like
The goat was?
yeah, like nobody's here. Scream. Right now, the chain was busted. The goat was leg was swollen, broken almost. Yeah. And nobody else wanted to pick that up. This is like 3 in the morning.
So you heard the goat going crazy, like it was dying, like somebody was just.
It was on this chain here.
And goats scream too, don't they?
Oh, he's limping.
Yeah. You know, something grabbed it and tried to run off with it. But after that, this thing just barely started to get up and move around. It stayed in that under that thing for a day and a half.
So who lives back here?
That's I live right there.
Oh, you live right there?
Mm-hmm. And who lives over here? My mom.
Your mom?
She heard a few noises too that were early in the morning. Like she's heard it twice already. Like somebody's calling somebody, like signaling somebody from back here. Yeah, she tells me.
But you can't figure out the actual voice. I mean, does it sound human or?
She says it's like kind of like what an Indian would do or something. She says.
Man, we need to put some cameras behind your house, dude.
I just got one. I was going to put out there probably tonight.
Really? The game camera or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put it aiming at your goat, for sure.
All these trees right here, dude. Like there's on that tree, that tree, and that tree. Actually, man, you got power back here?
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, the gate was open too. About this much. Something open the gate? Yeah, that gate too was open.
Yeah, and animals don't open gates. There's an echo. Why would there be an echo? Let me see. Oh, I guess if I listen to it, it makes an echo. Okay. So let me turn it. Let me turn it off. Okay, let me know if you can hear it and if there's an echo now. Can you all hear it?
Oh, that one was open over there? Mm-hmm. Oh, crap. There's another one over there. Let's go over there, guys. I'm looking for anything on the ground that looks out of the ordinary.
I never even thought to look for that.
Yeah, you need to look for footprints or...
How's it going, World Bigfoot Radio?
They should be sinking into this.
I know when it's wet out here, it's really
Really soft?
yeah.
Bolt Gun, how you doing, Bolt Gun? I don't know if you guys can hear me though.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right. I'm looking at that right there, going that way.
Yeah, I noticed last night
no
there was
little
an
tracks
echo,
either.
and I
There
realized
might
if
be
I
some of the
listen
dirt
to
over
it,
here.
No, let's go.
it has an echo.
Can we go back there?
Thank you, sir.
I can't remember what I seen back there, like on the ground when it was muddy.
So have one more video after this where we're in the road and he tells some more about
Careful. Let's see what we can
incidents
find.
happening there.
I mean, if anything's gonna leave a track, dude, this is perfect.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Oh, trying to reconnect.
I found big pig tracks, like looking in there, you know, when it's wet.
See, they could step right across this.
One step.
We found some. This guy up at Millerton Lake the other day was banging on the back of his house, and they went running out, and they seen this thing running away. So they went and got their. They saw the tracks. They started measuring. The track was 30 inches long. The stride for the track was 12.5 to 15.5 feet running, and then it ran. They said maybe 150 yards. Then it started walking. It was 6.5 foot stride walking, and they said they think they got a glimpse. They think it was around 15 feet or better in height. And we also got like the same guy reporting he saw a cow, saw the thing, took its back leg and its front leg and had it twisted like a bread tie and was dragging it up the mountain.
Oh, shit.
You know, but we've had like several of these.
The last time my buddy was here, we were barbecuing. We usually barbecue like tonight.
Uh-huh.
And he heard something both times, like walking along the fence, like he was doing
Yeah, that would be them.
That's a pretty good idea.
They don't leave tracks like.
They can't.
It would be unnormal, you know what I mean? Like you find one track and they could step from here to over there or hop, and we would never find their track.
Well, I hear a lot of shit walking to here. I've heard a lot of pig activity, but I've heard footsteps. You know?
See, these look like birds right here, digging, or a squirrel.
Everything I hear is in this first aisle. Walking like it's a highway right here. Pigs, I mean everything.
Uh-huh.
That's where I've heard the footsteps. Like I said, my partner matter of fact, I think that's your trail. He heard this the other night when barbecuing. Walking along the whole fence.
Really?
Yeah, like 2 in the morning.
Somebody's trying to push a message to you guys, and I know what it is. I know exactly what it is, man.
You know, he'll come out here and smoke a cigarette, you know what I mean? He's all peace, quiet.
See, the best way to see them is like, kind of like that. You know, like get low. It looks like there's some pig tracks, like right here.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of pigs right
I don't know what that
here. I used to come out here and lay right here and look under the trees. You can see far.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
The guy at the end, his property goes down like that, and from his yard you can see right under the trees.
Wow.
Okay, guys, sorry about that, but we lost you. We're back up again, and we're trying to find footprints. He was saying the other night. It's not even moving. Is it live? No, it's not live yet. Come on.
It's right over here.
Come on, live. Come on, go live. There you go. All right, we're going live. All right. We lost reception. We are back. We are looking for. Ron is saying that right on the other side of this first row of trees is where they run back and forth. He hears large footsteps that's running. And the other night they were barbecuing about 2 o'clock in the morning, and something was running against this fence and going with the hand all the way back and forth, like it was trying to scare them. I mean, this dirt is perfect for trying to find footprints, but I don't.
Okay, now, like really quick, I want to come in and talk about something. Okay, now, the whole time when we first started hearing about Bigfoot inside these oranges and tangerine citrus, all citrus, and at first, the very first thing that I thought might be why they're there is they like citrus, right? But over the years, okay, now this is a few years ago, and actually we were investigating the Avocado Lake. This is right across from Avocado Lake. Avocado Lake's just right across the road from this. You go down. I'm facing Avocado Lake. And I also have a filter on the camera. That's why every once in a while you see a little edge, on the side of the camera. Then it has a stabilizer built into the camera. So, but okay, back to the oranges or citrus. They were in the citrus all the time, not just when everything was right. They were in there all the time. And I think I figured it out a couple of years ago. I realized citrus, they don't lose their leaves ever unless they're dead. And then look at the trees. Look how close they are, and from a distance or even really close. If you were wanting to hide from someone, anyone, what a better place than in an orchard. I bet they could be all around these workers in there, and I mean like one row over and stuff, and moving around, and those guys will never see him, you know what I mean? Unless they run out like they did to the guy that was spraying with his tractor. And in fact, the guy that was on the tractor, we talked to that guy, and he said that he was eye to eye with the Bigfoot. So it was as tall as those trees right there. But I think this one's almost over, but let me see here. It's got a little bit more to go. Yeah, exactly, world. Exactly. Okay, so I'll let this one finish, and then I'll start the next one.
I bet there's a bar over here. We got some animals out here.
So you threw the bar
Yeah,
to
through the
scare
bar
them?
from over there. Yeah.
So they were, whatever was making the noise.
Dung beetle.
They threw that pipe to try to scare it away.
I don't know if it's a dung beetle. I'm just, just saying. Yeah, listen to him scream.
Yeah.
Shooting out this direction. I mean, look at that. I mean, I could literally leave.
Yeah, it's like moon dirt.
It's like, yeah, like if there was a footprint, we'd be able to spot it easy. Hey, dude. Come here. No?
Might be.
Yeah, it looks like a print.
See, now that looks like a track right there. Let's see. Let me, Jeff, move his hand.
I don't know if you can see that.
That looks like a track. Let me
Guys.
see. Maybe he'll move. Well, I guess you
That's
could see it in
sort of,
his
kind
phone,
of,
but
there's a heel, right?
See, like, what do you think of this? Watch, I'm going on this side.
it was a big track. Whatever it is, it was big, but there was only one. Okay, so there was only one track. And so there was only one track. And now I have the next video kind of like runs right after this video. It's that we're in the same place, but he's going to talk about, go more in depth in some of the things he was talking about. So let's get busy.
Okay, guys. Oh my God, this is awesome.
We just thought it'd be pigs, but
No, they're not pigs. So,
That's what they shoot it.
did Bigfoot ever come into your train of thoughts until you saw the Fox News?
I think somebody
thing
shot that.
on TV.
no.
Man, it's
Never,
not
never
like
thought
a
you never thought
Is
in a
that from
million
a
It
years.
looks like he was
slug?
shooting towards
Or
the house
38?
too.
Yeah,
357.
357.
357.
So you never thought it would be a Bigfoot back here,
No. I always knew there'd be something back here.
but not Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So what do you think it was then? If you're trying to figure it out, what did?
I don't know. They're shaking the crap out of them trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
would be
while it was
Bigfoot.
shaking,
That's like the weirdest thing that's ever happened out here.
the trees started shaking a lot.
Yeah. Oh, and this over here.
Yeah. So I mean, literally the whole tree.
Mhm.
And it
Same
takes
thing the
it
guy-
takes something very big to do that.
Same thing the guy at Reedley said.
Yeah, the tree starts shaking big time, huh?
Mhm.
This is at late at night, so.
Like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Well,
Yeah.
you guys, so you guys out here like late at night? You guys just kick it out here,
On my
or
patio right here, yeah.
man, dude, we need to come out here and kick back with you.
And we sit and listen to the pigs like all night, and they come by with shooting and whatnot. Yeah, over that hill there's a meadow. Like there used to be a pond over there, and I think there's a spring on top of this mountain too. Natural spring.
Okay, well, we're gonna come tomorrow, and I'm gonna. If that's okay with you?
Yeah.
Is that all right? Let's figure out what's doing this.
I'll be out here barbecuing tonight, so.
Well, you got my number. You know, if for some reason there's something out here, then just call me and say, hey, dude, it's out here.
Hi,
neighbors
Ped.
always
How
call
are
me.
ya?
I heard something. Come over here. You know?
Really?
Yeah. And they're like, they're Asians, and they're
On
Guys are
the
super
one on the other side?
yeah, where the goat was. They're superstitious.
Hey,
Are they
Trailblazer.
And they're a little scary already.
You
do you think they
bet.
wanna talk to
That
me?
is a good food
I doubt
source.
it.
No? Okay. All right, well, let's keep it here. Let me come tomorrow. It's already getting dark, guys, so I'm going to start losing sunlight for you guys. But we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to bring my DVR with
So
all my
they're
cameras,
about
and we're going to
done,
set up
I
shop.
think.
We're going to find out what's coming and shaking these trees and running down the next aisle over and messing with the fence, like going like this. I don't see footprints, but it's hard pan goes in. All right, so I don't know what time tomorrow, but if you see me go live, well, then you'll know why. Catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So that's the 3 videos I have. And I thought it was really interesting that I wish I had. I'm looking for a couple of more videos, because further down the street, down the road, there we had some more Bigfoot sightings. Like a year later, we got a call, or Jeff got a call, and we rolled on it out there, and it was maybe a mile and a half or 2 miles down on the other side of the river. And these people's house where their backyard was the river, and they set up on a little hill overlooking the river. And one day they were all out on the deck, and they were out there for a while, and they realized there was a Bigfoot on the other side. There was no orchard on the other side. It was all oaks and stuff like that. And there was a Bigfoot standing there, and he had his hand up, holding a branch above its head. And the branch was maybe 3 inches above its head, but it had its hand, resting on it. And it was standing there looking at them, watching them. And they don't know how long it was there, because, they weren't paying attention. And when they realized, that when it realized they were really looking at it and everything, and they were pulling their phones out to take pictures, it stepped behind the oak tree, and they never saw it again. But they called us about it, and they also were, their little goats and stuff like that were coming up missing. And we had like a slew of goat stuff there for a couple of years. I mean, Jeff even brought one of those old dead goats. I don't know if he still has it, but he brought one home, and it was a smelly old goat. That one came from real far away from where this is. It was, in the outside, right next to the Clovis Hospital. I would say about a mile east of Clovis Community Hospital. And they had lost 20 goats and sheep, and the ones that were there that they found, on the property dead, there was no blood, just like there was no blood on that one. And that guy had told us that, earlier. That's why I said, I said, no blood, right? Because I wanted to make that point. There was no blood. Normally, when you kill things, there's blood everywhere. There's no way around it. So whatever these things are, they like the blood. Only what he was talking about sounded more UFO-ish, if you know what I mean. The light on the road that the camera picked up, and then the camera went dead. Even though the Bigfoots, they're able to turn the cameras off as well. So, I find that, now Adolf and I, we've been up and down through there, and it was right across the river, probably as the crow flies, maybe a mile and a half or 2 miles, maybe tops, and is where Adolf saw the wolf. In fact, I found that video too. I'm not sure. I think I already pulled the plug on it, but maybe not. Let me see here. I have so much stuff that it's unreal. I thought I put Adolf Wolf on it, but well, I'm not sure, and that'll be something. I'll come back with another video and I'll share that one. I know I've shared it before, but no, God didn't talk to me about, when he talks to me about people, God talks to me about all of us are his. He owns all of us, even the Muslims. We shouldn't be, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We wrestle against principalities and powers of the air, UFOs, aliens, demons, stuff. And we don't really, they're the people, they're influenced by the demonic side, and that's why they do the things they do. And we're not really supposed to hold grudges or be angry with these people. We're supposed to pray for them that the power of the demonic breaks off of them. Hi MD, and hey AC, and that was a great question, AC. In fact, if you guys want, now that I showed the videos and everything, if you want, we could go off topic and we could talk about anything you want, really. I'm okay with it. And yeah, so that's why I created that other, well, God was telling me to create this other prayer team. I was saying party stuff last night. It's prayer team, and that's why he's having me put that together, is so that all of us can pray. All of us can focus our prayers, as many of us as we could get together, and break the demonic at the root and send it packing, because we have authority over the whole earth. We didn't when Adam and Eve lost their authority and they gave it to they were tricked and gave it to Satan. But Jesus went and bought it back 2,000 years ago, and we still haven't figured out we got it back, right? He told us in the New Testament, but everybody thinks they have all these doctrines and everything in the church, that was 2,000 years ago. That doesn't work today. Well, I'm sorry, it does, and we'll all figure it out here real soon. yeah, I don't mind. Uh, I don't mind going off topic. It's it's okay with me. You guys have questions and stuff like that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that too. I saw that too, AC. And in fact, I think I was watching. I got because there's some videos I follow, and like I've been following one of them a long time. I can't remember the. It's the guy with the little alien head, um, Tyler, but I can't remember his channel name. I mean, I don't watch videos like all the time. I got a lot to do, and usually I'm not watching videos. But there is like I guess a handful, or I could count them all on one or two hands maybe that I follow. And when I'll look at the title, and if it's interesting sounding title, then I'll click on it. But yeah, Secure Team, there you go. That's the one. And my that title sounded good. So I watched it. I mean that the only thing about Secure Team that I don't get is his was all edited normally and not very long. Like 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and he talks about like he's making a video and takes him 2 or 3 days or a day or something like that. And I could see if it was making like an hour video or a half hour video taking a day, but I can't see a 12-minute video taking that long to do. But I mean, it looks good, and I do understand it. A lot of people don't understand editing is pretty hard, especially if you have standards and you want to, you want to better yourself on every video and stuff like that. Like tonight when I got I put a reminder. He didn't beat his wife. That they set him up to take him down for some reason. I mean, it was a total hit job on that guy. They even had. I mean, I'm surprised he's even back on YouTube, but he isn't the same guy as how he was before. He's way more. Yeah, there you go. It takes time. I mean, like it takes time to do edits. Like I don't know if you guys saw tonight, Bigfoot Odyssey. He came out with a documentary called 168 Minutes, Bigfoot documentary. It's really good. It has great photography. The editing's pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, really good. And I know that one took him a while because you're looking through B-roll, and you have all this footage, probably hours. Like I know that when you do something that is a big topic, and you have, like, normally I have 5 times more video than I need. Like I'll have 7 or 8 hours of video for an hour or a 45-minute video, and you got to sit through all of it and then you have to organize it, before you even start editing. You got to kind of figure out what you're doing and put it in a kind of order. And I label stuff. I label like I give it a A1, A2 if it's like the regular, like the main video I'm going to use. And then when it's B-roll, I put B1, B2, B3. And then I change my mind all the time. And then you got to figure out music and where, and then you got to do all the little transitions and colorization. And there's a lot to it. A lot to it. Yeah, I think it's a hit or miss on catching anything AC. And you don't have to shoot in 4K. That a lot of times the 4K, I mean it's cool and everything, and but only when you're loading it up on YouTube and stuff like that, just stick with 1080. Shoot it in 1080, um, edit it in 1080, render it in 1080, and it'll go a lot faster. The upload will go faster, and you're not missing it. I mean, it'll look just as good. Excuse me. The only difference is the information, how much information is in it. That's why it takes longer. The more like 4K, 8K, 5K, 2.5K. I mean, all that. It takes a lot longer processing it. And if you have older technology computer, it's going to take, a long time just to render it. Not even talking about editing. The render will be like 2 or 3 hours. So, stick with 1080. You can't go wrong. It's still high def. It just means the picture's bigger. Like, think of it like a desk, right? So if you have 720p, you have a little desk, still high definition. And then at 1080p, the desk is a little bigger, and it has more information. And then 2.5K is more information. The desk is bigger, 8K, 4K, it gets bigger and bigger. So, but only when you load it on YouTube, they're only going to let you. I mean, if you go 4K, it's going to take forever. It takes a long time. Yeah, I mean, I have everything. I could do 4K and all that. I stick with 1080. Nobody even knows the difference. I mean, when I put 4K on there, the only way is YouTube will tell you this is 4K, and if your TV's 4K, you can watch it with true 4K. And not I mean, some people do in their living rooms, but in their bedrooms and tablets and all that stuff, they don't have that. They're watching it all in 1080. So, I mean, most everybody is 1080, and save yourself some time and headache on upload time and edit time. If you're going to put it on a DVD or something, then you want to do it as high as you can, because they're going to play it in a Blu-ray or something, and they're going to see it in the highest definition. But yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. I started shooting videos when it was tube cameras. It was standard definition, 3 tube cameras, red, green, and blue. And I mean, I had to take them in the shop all the time. If you bumped your camera hard, you had to go in and have everything all aligned and all this stuff. Digital's so much better. But 1080p, you can't lose on 1080p. But like some of the iPhones and stuff like that could shoot 8K, you take some of that footage of that 8K and run it through your editor and see how laggy it is while you're trying to edit. Unless you do something special. Some editors have a way of letting you edit it because they do it in a lower resolution. Hey, T Money. Yeah, see, yeah. And if that would have been 8K, you would have been there a lot longer. And then when they process it, when the actual like Rumble or YouTube or whoever you're loading it up to, they also do a process where they run it through their AI and stuff like that. And it'll take a long time for that before it even, and you can watch it several hours later and it's still not the definition that you load it to. Yeah, see that you're using the Apple, the iMovie, that can handle it, especially if you have a newer computer. But yeah, so tonight I was I was watching that Bigfoot Odyssey, and the guy's right on the money. Uh, he showed a lot of pictures that a lot of people would say, "Well, I don't see nothing." And but only that's all you normally get with Bigfoot is I don't see nothing. That's like when you don't see me sharing a lot of there's a Bigfoot right there, because nobody could see it but you normally. They didn't really film anything live because they couldn't, they never saw it. You know what I mean? When they were in the field, they didn't see it. So it's not. I think there was one they did was kind of live. I mean, it was all recorded, but they knew when they were filming or recording that there was a Bigfoot in a tree, or no, he thought it was, and it turned out to be a deer. It was on the ground, and it turned out to be a deer running away. But only when they went back in the studio, that's when they were finding, they know where to look because they knew there was something over there. They could hear it and everything. You can't hear it, so they knew where to look, and they find it. Yeah, what I found interesting was, this is something I never heard ever about Bigfoot, was it's like a chameleon in that like if it's hiding in dark shadows, the face and the oils on it, on the fur and the face and everything, reflect what's around it. So if it's in a dark shadow, and usually their face is like a gray, but if they're in the dark shadows, then it's reflecting the shadow, so it looks just like the shadow. If it's in green shrubbery, the green leaves, especially the more sunnier and everything, is what they were saying, and it reflects green. So the face and everything will be green tinted, and I mean you'll never see it. And that made a lot of sense to me. I've been at this for 30 years. I've heard a lot of stuff, but that one might hold water right there. And then some of his pictures, if that really was a Bigfoot in the bushes they're looking at, it was reflecting green. It was really interesting. Cool. I'll check that one out, AC. See, now, Eric, that is a really good question. It is really hard. About the only way is you need somebody like Thinker Thunker, or somebody that they're, I mean, I can do it too, the same thing, but you got to put it in special software and then mess around with it, and you can tell by the looks of it, and when you start changing the contrast and things like that, you could tell if somebody did something to it, if it was partly CGI or photoshopped or something like that. You'll see it'll have edges that doesn't run with all the rest of the video, or all the rest of what the picture you're looking at. And that's actually how you do it. And then like that, I mean, that's why I don't show anything, though, is a lot of times I have things, and the people are just attacking me left and right, and most of them never ever went out even looking for a Bigfoot. They don't know what they're doing, but they think they're an expert because they watched a bunch of videos, and they saw every episode of Finding Bigfoot or something. Yeah, that you're right. They do, but this time, I guess he went out. I was trying to find out what kind of camera he was using, because it was beautiful video that he was. I mean, it looked good. Yep, I think you're right, Trailblazer. In fact, if everyone reads Revelation, it says in Revelation, in the tribulation, there's come a time that all the animals are going to turn on man, turn on their owners. All animals, they'll lose their fear of humans, what the Bible calls the fear of humans, or respect. And they're going to turn on them. And your dog will turn on you, your cats, your birds, and all your pets. So I don't want to be around when that happens. I mean, that's going to be no fun, huh? But yeah, that's coming, you know. So yeah, so what'd you guys think about that? Like, when the guy on the tractor hit the telephone pole, they said it was 5 a.m, so it was still dark, and he was running with his lights, the guy with the tractor, and he said he was eye to eye with it. It stopped right in front of his tractor, stopped and was staring at him, and he had to swerve to avoid it, and he ran into the telephone pole and smashed it in half. Couldn't stop, and he didn't want to he didn't want the boss to think he was crazy, but he had to tell the truth. And there was tracks, but the owners, or I think the owner is Dole. I think I heard it's Dole, that owns that. But it could be a farmer that just grows for Dole. I know a lot of farmers that grow for companies. Yeah, that is a holy moly moment. And I, what's really funny about Bigfoot and people that don't believe is, when they think they know, like they start telling you have a cell phone. I mean, today we have all this great technology, and why aren't we getting that technology? A few years ago, I can't remember how long ago it was, but we were invited to the Bigfoot Museum in Felton, California, and Bill Munns, we met him there, and he actually did his presentation on the Patterson-Gimlin film, and it was great, and then we got to sit and talk with them. In fact, while we were there was another guy there. He had just, it's hot in here. He had just put a video up on YouTube called the loudest Bigfoot screams ever or in the world, or something like that. It's pretty good. Or the longest Bigfoot screams. And there was only like 15 views on it. The guy didn't have a following or anything. Now it has millions of views, and his truck broke down. But anyways, while we were there, Bill Munns talked about it, and I agree totally. There was a couple of Hollywood guys there that did Bigfoot suits and stuff. In fact, Jeff ordered a Bigfoot suit from one of them. It was like $1,500 for it, and then he got it for free or something, But all these guys, they said it couldn't be done back then. Now, oh my gosh, Yeah. Yeah, the TV thing, you're not going to get anything, because the Bigfoots don't, like Kerry Arnold, when they went out there, the 168 hours out in the field. So what is that like? A while, a week or something like that out there 24 hours a day. That's the only way. If you're going to catch something, that's the only way, is you have to be out there all the time. I think I hear knocking, man. There's wood knocking. I think there's a Bigfoot in here. Oh man, all those guys, dude. You can't be famous, a band famous, a movie star famous, any kind of famous, unless you sign your life away. There's very few, top famous people that haven't signed their life away. And it's all going to come out. We're all going to see it. Like I know stars. I grew up in California, and then I have some relatives in Oklahoma, and they joke around. They think I live next door to all these top movie stars, but I really don't. But only I was in the the industry, the TV industry, since '82, and I've got to know them. I worked with Animal Planet when they, like all till now. I've been doing the TV thing, and so I've met a lot of famous people, and one of my best friends was Richard Keel, the giant, and I was his private cameraman for a little while. He had several of them, and I know some of those guys too, he didn't sign, but he never became, like a Tom Hanks or anything like that. You know what I mean? He's always playing B. If anything, like when he wrote his own movie, his own script. He's going to do it all right, his own self. And when he went to get investors, nobody was willing to invest in his movie because he wasn't part of the club, right? You got to be part of the club. And we're not part of the club. None of us are part of the club. And it hurt, that he made a great movie called Giant of Thunder Mountain. And me and my dad actually wrote the music for it and signed the contract. And it was like, a lot of money. But then it went like 4 years, and then my dad passed away, and then the investors dropped it and decided they didn't want it. And then some Italian investors picked it up, and then they didn't give him enough money, and they changed a whole bunch of stuff, and he couldn't fight it because they're using their money, so they own it. It's a big old giant cluster puck. And if you're not in a club, they dick you around, Yeah, man, Adolf, that is when I was a kid, there was stuff happening all around me all the time like that, like trees falling down, rocks bouncing around, all kinds of stuff. And like splash it, like we'd be fishing a creek, and there's like little pools going up or down the hill, whichever we were going, but only there boulders or something would splash into the pool either above you or below you, and you didn't know what it did. First you'd think somebody was messing with you, and then it would happen again, and it would be like, oh, a pine cone fell out of a tree, but you didn't hear it hitting the branches going down, and you would hear thumps on the ground, all kinds of stuff, and I didn't know what it was. I just wrote it all off, as being something that I didn't see it. It had to be natural, When I saw Bigfoot, oh man, all that changed. Like all those things started running through my mind, my mind started replaying, and I freaked. I didn't go camping I didn't go out hunting for 6 years. I stayed out of the woods. That happened in 1987. So I didn't go back in the woods till like 92 or 3, because that was there. What I saw lived there, and I was thinking, oh my God, it probably knows me, probably watched me grow up from a baby, in a playpen. I mean, the whole thing blew my mind, that this thing's been out there my whole life. And then when I was asking my dad and his best friend, that the ones, we always went all the time, and then they started saying, yeah, they've seen him 4 or 5 times now over there. They started seeing him when they were young. I was like, what? Like, how come you didn't tell me? I wouldn't have been wandering around in the woods all alone with, a little BB gun. I mean, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have wandered off at all. I guess I wouldn't have had a very good childhood either, because I have really great memories of skinny dipping in the creek and fishing, and then get hot and then just strip off and go swimming, and wandering around, hiking up the top of the mountain and back. And I was doing a video the other day, and I was talking about one of the things I used to like to do, and it was, I would, like, this is the camp, and I would go out this side of the camp, and then I would go around way off, like a mile or 2, hike out, and then I would try to circle all the way around and come in the opposite side of the camp that I left, for the opposite side of I left from. And I got pretty good at it, no GPS, no compass, no anything, just, learning how to maneuver yourself in the woods without getting lost. And the first time I got lost, I was 5 years old, and it scared me to death. And I realized I wasn't paying attention. And one of the first things I realized was, when you're going out, like, you head out, and if you're going to come back the same way, you have to turn around every football field or so and look back to where you came from, so that you can, and pick out landmarks and stuff like that, so that you're on the right trail. But if you never turn around and look back, you don't know what that looks like. So if you're not on a real trail and you're just cutting through the woods, and you decide to turn around and go back a mile or 2, you don't know where you are, really, because you didn't look back at where you came from, so that you would recognize where you're going. Yeah, I learned a lot about that, a lot. No, I went back. I went back in the woods, but I didn't go alone ever again. I mean, after I turned 18, my wife would get mad at me. I would head out for 2 weeks all by myself, deer hunting, and I would be out there sometimes so long, and you wouldn't say anything, you wouldn't talk, because there was no reason. You have like talk radio going, and because that was the only channel I could get, and be out there, a week and a half or so, and then wonder if your voice even works. So it would be like, hey, whoop, oh, it works. Hey. I mean, oh man. But only I never did that ever again after seeing Bigfoot. And then when I went back, I always had at least one other person, and I was really heavily armed compared to how before I would, like in the summer, I wouldn't even take a rifle or a pistol. I would take cameras, and I would be shooting everything with cameras. And man, that changed. Yeah, no, but he could have, he had, Richard Keel did like 75 movies. I mean, he was lucky in that respect. and I don't know how many TV shows. I mean, he was on The Monkees, on Twilight Zone. I mean, you'll find him all over the place. He could have, they could have wrote a movie for just for his size. I mean, they do now, and they use CGI, and but only he didn't belong to the club, so nobody ever wrote a movie like that for him. And there's a few more too, like Randy Quaid, the guy that was in the Clint Eastwood movies, the biker with the Black Widow on his belly, and he was the biker guy, Randy Quaid. Him too. He wasn't. And the dad in I can't remember his name. And Jay Silverheels, the the guy that was the Lone Ranger's sidekick. I mean, he was one of my dad's best friends, was Jay Silverheels. But yeah, we had lots of friends. I mean, a lot of them. But if you don't sign your life away, then you stay that second fiddle position. Exactly, Adolf, exactly. I was always told, though, if you follow a creek, most likely you'll come to a road. That's what they always told me. Like, if you're totally lost, find a creek and go down the creek and you'll come across a road. Now, the other part is, are you going to take the road the right direction, right? Are you going to follow it to the end of the dead end, or are you going to go down to where the main road is? Yeah. I never got lost, though. After the 5 years old, I never got lost. I paid attention, and my dad and his best friend, they made a joke out of that for like 2 weeks. They laughed at me like crazy because I was only 100 yards from the camp and I was lost as could be, crying and screaming for everybody, and they let me be out there a little while because they could hear me. They knew where I was. They let me get the life scared out of me before they came and saved me. They told me that years later. I had no idea. They said you had to learn. That's how you learn. You get lost, and then you don't get lost after that. I mean, I was so mad at them. I was mad at them because they didn't tell me about Bigfoot too. Like, they should have told me. I told all my kids. It didn't stop them from going in the woods, though. We'd go camping. They're all running around, even though they would be out there hiking around, and then something would happen, like what Adolf was saying, a rock went in the creek, or a noise, or they'd get a growl, something would growl at them, and they knew right away to start heading back to the camp instead of looking for it. Like, what did that? And have no fear because they don't know, what's out there. So I'm glad I told my kids, anyways. I'm glad I did. Yeah, never sign your life away. Never, ever, ever. I never did. I had some opportunities, and I didn't sign my life away at all. And I was in the casino industry, and I got to the point where, like, if you really wanted to go any further, you had, like, I got invited to some parties and stuff like that, and I started realizing it was not good. The parties, there was like two parties. One was for the people that had no clue, and then there was another one that you couldn't get into. You had to go through a back, like a door, to get in there. And when you went in there, it was dark, real dark, no lights. It was really a trip, and I only did that one time. And then after that, I didn't want to be part of that club. I just stayed with all the other people that were clueless. I just stayed like that. Yeah, well, that's what. See, I always thought that too, Adolf. Where does the creek take you? You know, are you going to wind up uh, really lost? You know, especially if you hadn't seen a creek. You know, and then all of a sudden you come across one, and you know you're 7 miles from where you went in the woods at. You know, at least. Yeah, you have a little bit of an idea, but it once you get older, it's a little bit hard. Like the place where the easiest place for where I think to get lost in our mountains, it's kind of hard to get lost because you're going to be on side of a hill normally, and these are big mountains, right? So all you have to do is head down to the road down. When you're hiking up, you're going to the wilderness. When you're going down, you're going to the road. Where it gets scary is where there's no hills and it's all flat and it's heavily wooded, and it's, you know, a few 100,000 acres of that. That would be where I could get lost really easy. Everything looks the same. It's flat, you know, like there's no mountains or anything. You know, that I would really get lost over there. I'd have to carry something with me to keep from getting lost. Oh yeah, all the bedding, everything. You know, in fact, the casinos, I could give pointers on cards, like playing cards. That's your best odds. And if you want to win some money, play by the book. Like get you a basic book of the basic way. No tricks, no advanced or whatever. Just the straight basic, like blackjack or something like that. Basic poker, when, you know, like with blackjack, when to double down, when not to double down, you know, stuff like that. And then play by the book. Like if you're looking at two cards and the book says don't bet, don't. You know, but if it says, when you're looking at like double aces or something, to split the aces, it depends, you know. So play by the book and you'll win. You have a 51% chance and a little bit of skill, and you can beat the odds. And that's the only way to beat the odds in a casino. If you go to the machines, there's no trick, there's no secrets, I mean, you could buy all the books in the world and they'll tell you all kinds of stuff, but you cannot, there's no way to do it. The odds are set, they're preset, and it's mostly in the casino's favor. And if you hit anything, it's luck, completely luck. Obsidian Ghost, I remembered this time, man. How's it going? And how's it going, Eric? I don't know if I said how's it going. Yeah. So like we're doing a little I got about 6 minutes left, you guys. 6 minutes. My wife already came in. I told her I would do a little over an hour, but it's almost close to an hour and a half. So like it's open chat right now. So if you guys got anything else, I'm doing all right. I'm losing my voice still. I don't know what's up with that. I've been sleeping with the window open though, and it's been foggy and cold. So I have a feeling that has something to do with it. Hey, I dig Daytona, man. Your last video is pretty good, bro. I mean, now I know you like all the quarters and stuff. That was pretty cool. You got a lot of coins. I like that video, and the sound of the ocean. I love the sound of the ocean. But I usually, and then I'm not good at commenting on videos because usually I have enough time to watch one and then I get called away. But I could, if I remember, I'll hit the like button as I go, you know. But you have good videos. I at least get to them, if not the day of that you put it, I'll get to it within 3 days. I'll watch it. But you have some good ones, man. I was kind of bummed on the one with the ring, and it wasn't real. It was just the bling ring, but it looked like it was going to be something, but it was a bling ring. And I was watching it with my grandson the other day, and he hadn't watched, so he's really into it, real into it. And I finally introduced him to your channel and the Dream Smasher, he loved that. He loves the Dream Squasher or whatever you call it. Like he loved that, man. Pretty cool. So yeah, he runs around like I try not to let him use my stuff. He likes to use the cameras and all this stuff, but oh, cool. You guys, the storms, huh? You guys been having the storms. See, Eric, they will not let me play like most casinos in California and Oregon. Vegas doesn't care so much. You could go to the old side of Vegas. But like I can't, they won't let me play in the casinos. They started passing my picture around. And I didn't, somebody told me they were doing that to me and I didn't believe them. And I was in Oregon and I went, wait, there's this little casino, it was like trailers, put together. And it was Eastern Oregon, like the center of Oregon. I can't remember even the name of it. It was just a little hole in the wall place off of Highway 97, way out there. And, they had like 5 blackjack tables. And I went in there and I started winning. I think I went in, I had $15 and their tables were $10 minimum bet. And I was thinking, well, I'm going to be out of here real fast, like one hand. But then I won and I won and I won and I won. Pretty soon, I was up to like $3,000 and I was waiting for my wife and her mom. They dropped me off and they were going to go to the dentist and do all this other shopping and all this stuff. And the pit boss came over to me and said, "Aren't you a professional?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not a professional card player." He goes, "Man, I seen your picture." I'm like, "No, I'm not professional." About 20 minutes later, he comes over with his little 3-ring binder and he has it open and he shows me that I can't play. I'm banned, blackballed from playing in the casinos because I was a marketing director and I used to train the dealers. But I didn't train. I was just only teaching them how to use the shuffle shoes, right? The card shufflers. Like some of them were 6-deck and I like the single deck one and then I like to play on the single deck one. I don't like the 6-deck card shuffler, but all I did was just teaching him how to use that. I didn't teach him how to, anything about the dealing the card boss did that. I never heard of Ronnie Craig. I'm not really I'm not my casino wouldn't let me gamble at all. And if the local casinos around here wouldn't let me gamble, and they still don't. I mean, they'll let me play on the machines now that I don't work in the casino, but I can't play any table games or anything like that. I was at Thule Reservation and within 3 hands, the surveillance already caught me. And I knew right when I got cut, Jeff was on one table and I was on another one. And I seen that the phone rang for the pit boss, and I seen him go on the thing, and he had his back to me, and all of a sudden he slowly turns, and he's standing there talking and looking, and he was looking right at me, and I think, okay, I'm busted. Sure enough, as soon as he hung up the phone, I was gone. Told me I couldn't play cards. I could go play the machines, but I couldn't play any of the cards. I couldn't play poker or nothing, Because if you know what you're doing on there, you can win. Oh, really? The Elvis explosion. My wife would love that. She thinks Elvis is alive. I told her, man, he's got to be like, what, 90? Gee, I don't know if he's alive or not. But I'm at the end of my 6 minutes. You guys, I did an hour and a half, and I am golden with the wife if I go off right now. But I love all you guys, man. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the videos and the chat, because I enjoy every minute with you guys, because I feel like I could go another hour really easy. But I know I better not do that. I'll get in a lot of trouble. But I want to pray for everybody. I mean, I don't have to pray for anybody, but I just feel led to pray for people. And today, while I was sitting here, I couldn't stop thinking about sciatica, bad sciatica in the back. So I want to pray for everybody with sciatica. Jesus is touching people with sciatica, and they're going to be healed in Jesus' name. And then I want to say the same one I always say: be abundantly blessed in every area of your life. I mean, every area, your relationships, your job, your finances, every area, abundantly blessed in Jesus' name. There you go. And I'm working on the the prayer team channel. I actually created what I'm using right now, this software, and then I have to do some more, and I'm going to put a video up. But if you email www.prayerteam@google.com with a prayer request, I will be praying for it, and so will everyone here that prays. So if you need prayer on any situation, and I won't out you, I will not out your name or anything. We will be praying for you, and then later, once I get this thing rolling, I'm gonna have everyone. I'll never out anyone's names unless they say they don't care, but only I will, because it doesn't matter. God knows who you are, even if we don't. He knows everyone. We're all his. He owns us. He said he knows how many hairs are on our head. So I don't worry about names. I'll never out you. I'll be praying for all of you that leave a request there. And then I always pray for all of my people. Man, Leo, I might stay on here a little longer, if you say that. Really, if you don't believe there's a God, tell him to prove to you there is. Okay? Tell him to prove it. He'll prove it. Just start talking to him and tell him, you know what, if you're real, because that's how I found God. I was not a church. I was a heathen, man. I mean, I grew up in the hood. I was drugging it and drinking it and partying and no church all my life. But only I wound up in jail a bunch of times. I wound up in jail for murder, attempted murder, 30 counts. And I started praying, and I told God, if you're real, then, because I can't stop. I wanted to stop drinking. My wife was leaving me, got fired off my job. I mean, I was losing everything. And I told God, if you're real, then you have to take this stuff from me, because I can't stop. And no buzzers or bells or whistles or music or feelings, nothing happened like that. But the next day when I got up, I didn't go straight for the beer. I did not In fact, I couldn't even smell a beer after that, and or any alcohol. That was, and I could tell you the day because it changed my life so much from that day. It was April 26, 1986. And they let me off on the 30 counts of manslaughter. They were telling me I was going to be in prison for 60 years, right? The DA was telling me 60 years. That day I walked out and I didn't have another beer or another bag of cocaine or bennies or nothing, man. Quaaludes, whatever it is, whatever. I didn't do anything anymore after that. My job, I got my job back. The boss called me 3 days after that, and I had my old job back. After I even went over there drunk and broke a whole bunch of stuff because I was mad at him. And he wasn't firing me then. I just went over there. I was mad at him, and I went over there and broke all this stuff drunk. I had a key to get in, and I tore it up. I should have went to jail. He didn't call me. He just fired me. But I'm telling you right now, God's real, and he made himself real to me when I called out to him. So take it or leave it. I can't make anybody do anything. But anyways, and you could take and leave the prayer too, you know. It's all up to you. Brother, I've done the same thing. 30 counts of attempted murder, okay? 30. Not on the same person either. I mean, like you said, you did bad things. You're looking at a bad person right here, or like I used to be. All of a sudden, I was different. There was some things, and he doesn't care. God doesn't care. I still smoke cigarettes. I don't do anything. I still smoke cigarettes. I don't go to church. And I'll tell that story. You know, I don't know if you guys want to hear this. I don't know. My wife, if I say I was talking about God, my wife gets easier on me. But what's up, Ghost Wolf? How you doing, brother? That's exactly right, Trailblazer. You could be in the worst place, and God will pick you out of there, and he'll take care of you after that. And I mean, he absolutely will take care of you. I mean, when you give him all the problems, like even today, just for instance, the house I'm living in right now, I mean, it's coming up on 18 or 19 years in this house. When I got disabled 20 years ago, and I sold everything, my ranch, what I could, and I owed everybody. They sued me and everything because I couldn't work. And I paid for 3 months in this house cash, and then, you know, everything the landlady wanted to move in 3 months rent. And then I didn't have an income. I was fighting Social Security. When the money ran out, I started getting behind on the rent, of course, because I don't have any income, right? And I got 5 years behind in the rent. 5 years. The landlady never gave me a notice. When I would go in, and sometimes I would get a little money, and I mean, not even a month's worth of money, but I would go give it to her, you know, and I would tell her, I'm so sorry, you know, and I would understand if you kicked me out. And she told me, I'm not kicking you out. She goes, I know you're going to get the money. And I was thinking, after 5 years, okay. And then not only did I not get kicked out, the power didn't get shut off. The utilities never got shut off. The internet didn't even get shut off. And there was food, always food. We never starved. I didn't have a car. My car broke down. I couldn't afford it. So I wound up having to ride the bus all the time. But as far as basic needs, I didn't lose one thing. And then I finally won Social Security after 5 years of fighting them. Got all the back pay. And you know, the first person I went and paid up, the landlady. And that was 12 years ago or something like that. And I have not missed a payment. I'm on time every month since. that I love that lady. I'm going to cry. I got to be careful. But God is good, really good. And when you can give up your worries and your cares and give it to Him and let Him have it, He'll take care of you. It's better than you could take care of you. And I mean that. So I don't want to preach or nothing to you guys. I just thought that came to my mind, and I would do that. Yeah, same here, Ghost Wolf. Same here. I wasn't worth saving, really, in my opinion. Wow, that's so cool, Eric. Right on. That's so cool. And I'm on the verge of having tears fall out of my eyes. I am so sorry. I don't really want to lose it, but that's a real story. And I have an Africa story. You could go back in my YouTube and I talk about it, Africa. And that was like 1 year after I called out to God, and He took me to Africa and He put me through the boot camp. And that's where I learned about the church people, the pastors, especially the national or international churches. And I started going by what I feel when I'm praying. And if I don't feel it in there, I don't go. And I haven't found one yet where I feel this, Jesus Spirit. So when I find one, I don't know if I ever will, but when I'm starting this, you can go and check out my prayer team. It's called WW Prayer Team at google.com. And I wonder, you can, if you need prayers, this is to anyone that hears this video, or if it was shared to you, email me at www.prayerteam@gmail.com, and we'll start praying for you. And then be looking for that to start firing up. I'll be putting videos on it. I'm praying about what to say in the videos because I don't know what to say. God is going to guide me on every step of this because it's His idea, not mine. So it goes at the speed of how He shows me what to do and tells me what to do. And it's bigger than me, and it's going to have way more than me. I mean, He's let me know that I have to trust people that He puts in my way. He calls it putting it in my way. I will not be able to avoid these people, but only I will know in the spirit if it's from Him or if it's not, and pray about the people that He puts in my way, and they are going to be part of the prayer team on the side of the organizing all the platforms and stuff like that. And because from how I feel when I'm praying about it, it's going to be pretty big, only because the next 2 months or 3 months are going to be, he's outing the evil in the world. Look around. He'll be outing it in your own life, like the people around you, co-workers, family members, friends. You're going to start to see the real them, what really motivates them. And the ones that are on the evil side, they're going to get outed. And be prepared for that, because He told me that's going to be very hard for a lot of people. At the same time, He's going to be doing it on a worldwide scale. The governments of the world, He's going to be outing them. He's going to be bringing out the truth to the people. And you could already see it start happening, like with this trial with the kid, how the media butchered him. And even our own president, was saying things about him. And I have to be careful. My wife's like, better be careful saying that on your YouTube. But yeah, man, Eric, when I was in Africa, we were riding in this van. It was a big van, like a mini bus or something like that. But I have a picture of it somewhere. I'm standing there videotaping these guys. They were putting furrows to grow yams, and they had these hoes that were, like this, came out like that. They're only so big, and the handle was only that long, so they were all bent over making furrows in a big old huge, like 100-acre farm. It was amazing. But we were riding, it took us 3 days to get to that farm, and the people that were with us on that, they were getting a ride with us to the farm. They were from the farm, and the church group I was with that hired me to go, they financed the farm, and they want to send a tractor over there and put a well and stuff like that. But they want to know how much money got over there. But anyways, they're all on the bus, and they kept chanting and singing, Jesus is power. Power is Jesus. Jesus is power. Power is Jesus. After several hours, that bus was like vibrating with power. It was amazing. I mean, I never felt anything like it in my life. But anyways, I got to get going. And I love you guys, and I thank you for hanging out with me. And I already said my prayer, and I got to go. And I'll try to be back on. I'm going to try to get back on Friday sometime, but I may look for me in the middle of the week, maybe like Wednesday or something. My wife's looking at me like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. But look for me in the middle of the week on Wednesday, because I like hanging out with you guys so much, and I want to make sure that it's worth it. That's why I bring the videos and stuff like that. And Adolf and I are going to get out there. I'm sure of it. I've been having a hard time getting out there with them, though. My schedule's been crazy. But be looking for me in the middle of the week just to do a chat and catch up with everyone and open chat thing. But anyways, have a blessed week if I don't make it. I pray everything goes your way. I hope God goes before you, and he sets your path before you even get there, and you'll be blessed all week long in Jesus' name. Thank you guys. I love ya, and I'll see ya.